What's going on, guys? Lethality here, and welcome back to another video. And today's going to be going over the ultimate special cargo money guide in GTA Online. But before we get into that, only about 10% of you guys are actually subscribed. So if you find yourself enjoying my content, consider subscribing. It's always free, you can change your mind later. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. So now let's talk about what you need to do special cargo. There are going to be two things. Number one will be an office, and number two will be the special cargo warehouse. To start, to buy the office, you can head to Dynasty 8 Executive, and you can choose any of the 4 locations. Now this one here will be the cheapest. If you have the Commander Enterprise Starter Pack like I do, it'll be free. If you don't, it'll only be $1 million. Now you could buy another one, but the location doesn't really matter, so I just go with the cheapest one, especially if you don't have a lot of money. But once you buy your office and go through like the introductory scene, we're gonna head to our computer here to buy the warehouse. So we're gonna go log into special cargo here, and now here's the deal. When you have to buy a first warehouse, you'll be met with this map. There won't be any green ones, but basically you want to choose which warehouse you want to buy. Now, if you're new to special cargo, I'd start with this one here. It's 250k, and if you want, you can also buy like this one is like 300k. This will allow you to run it without waiting to cool down, but it'll keep it so you don't invest too much if you end up not liking it. However, if you are experienced with it and you want to make a lot of money, you want to go with the large warehouses, as the more crates you can hold, as you source more and more, each crate will be worth more and more per crate. So I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So now let's talk about sourcing crates. Now there are two ways to source crates. Number one is going to be by going to either your office or your terabyte, choosing a warehouse, and then sourcing a certain amount of crates. Now the amount of crates depends on what you want to get out of this. If you want to get RP, go with 1 crate. It'll give you the most RP per crate. If you want to get money, go with 3. Sourcing 3 crates on repeat will allow you to make money faster than the other 2 options. But if you want to blend, you can always go with 2 crates. Now, when sourcing, these missions are all really easy. You either get a vehicle or they'll be like individual crates. If they're individual, you can only carry 1 at a time. But obviously, if they're in a vehicle, you can just drive back to your warehouse. Now, I'm not going to show you the sourcing missions because they are incredibly easy, but I will show you the second and, in my opinion, better way to source crates. So now this is the second and, in my opinion, better way to source crates. Basically, in your warehouse, you'll have these warehouse employees, and basically, they will source crates for you as long as you pay them. Now, you can go up to them, you'll pay $7,500, and they will return within, I believe, 48 minutes, which is like 1 in-game day, and they'll either bring you 1, 2, or 3 crates. Now, I heard they can also get special items. However, I've probably sourced these guys hundreds of times, and I've never gotten a special item from them. So I don't know how common that is, but it's got to be rare. But basically, you just send them out, and they'll go get crates, and they can bring to your warehouse. I recommend this method, as it allows you to do other stuff while they're sourcing crates for you. So while you're sourcing, occasionally you get what's called a special item. Now, these special items will appear in the 1 crate slot, and you'll notice that the value to buy them is a lot higher. Basically, what these are is there's special items that'll sell for 95k to 150k. If you get these, I definitely get them, as you can make really easy money from them. However, I would just make sure that you don't source and sell multiple of them. If you get one, just go to your warehouse and sell it, because I have one with like 5 of them, and for some reason the value's like glitched out, and they only sell for 100k. Even though each of them should be worth about that on their own. So keep that in mind, but if you see these, definitely source them. So now let's talk about selling. Now before we actually get to selling the crates, we want to find this red workbench. This is going to allow us to upgrade our delivery vehicles. Now there's 2 I'd recommend, but 1 that is necessary. The one that's not even necessary is going to the boat and getting the speed upgrade. You're driving a tugboat, which means it's slow as hell as is. Even with the speed upgrade, it's still incredibly slow. However, without the speed upgrade, it's literally pure torture. So for 100k, to be able to go a little bit faster, it's worth it. The other one I'd recommend is getting the bulletproof tires in the truck. Now, I used to sell without this, and I had no problems, but I assume that they can get popped, so I'd get this at least, just in case. The rest of them doesn't really matter, especially if you sell in invulnerabilities like I do. I don't have to worry about armor and getting griefed, so I don't need like a jammer on the plane. So I'd recommend those 2. Just make sure you get the speed up in the boat. But now we can get to actually selling cargo. Now, when you sell, if you're inexperienced, I wouldn't sell more than 9 crates. If you sell 9 or less, you're guaranteed to only get 1 vehicle, and that'll allow you to get kind of comfortable with it before going on to selling. Like, I'm about to sell 111 crates completely solo. Now, you can do all the missions solo, but if you're not that good at the game or good at these missions, you might end up losing some crates. And the problem with special cargo is if you lose any crates, you lose all your crates that you're selling. So you want to make sure that you know what you're doing. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the sell mission. Now, like I mentioned, the more and more crates you have, the more and more it's worth. So selling here, 111, I'm going to make 2.2 million. So we're going to go ahead and do this. It'll say it may require 3, but I'm okay with it. I've been doing this for years, so I kind of know what to expect. We got trucks here. So basically, the trucks have 2 variations. You either deliver it to a drop-off, which is the variation I have, or you deliver it to, like, I think it's either 3 or 5 locations and make a drop at each location. Now, both of them, like I mentioned, can be in solo, but let's talk about the other 2 types, the boats and the planes. Now, for the boat, you'll always get one tugboat and you'll just deliver it out to sea, and that's all you gotta do. That's the easiest mission, aside from how painfully slow the tugboat is. For planes, it's a bit different. Now, if you have a small warehouse, you might get 1 or 2 Cubans, depending if you sell 9 crates or not. 9 or less, 1. More than 9, it can be 2. It could also be 1. The Cuban has 2 missions. You might either make like 5 drop-offs, or you'll have to land at an area and deliver the planes into that area on the ground. Now, if you get that one, there will be some enemies at said area, so I'd land a little bit outside, drive in, kill the enemies, then drive the planes in. And then there's one last one, which is the Titan. If you get the Titan, you have to have either a medium or large warehouse to get the Titan. And basically, there will be 10 drop-offs that you have to make, kind of like the Cuban, but 10 instead of 5. And sometimes there are helicopters that come after you. I've been able to do it with or without the helicopters shooting at me. Sometimes they take me down, other times I do it just fine. If you're going to go down, if you force quit your game, you'll only lose 3 crates, and you'll just have to like resource 3 when you load back in. So if you get that one, you can force close and reset. The other thing with the Titan mission is I've had it where the mission has glitched out and I can't make all the drops. So again, if that happens, just force quit your game and restart it and get the 3 crates. And then you should be able to do it just fine after that. I've never had it glitch out twice in a row, but sometimes I get the same mission, other times I get different ones. So yeah, that's really all there is to about selling it. I mean, I really don't have to show it because it's really easy, so I'll probably speed through it, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we're arriving with the 3rd truck here. Now, I'll admit, my driving could have been a bit better, but this thing is so big, and it's literally meant to, like, push vehicles out your way. So, I wasn't really trying to keep a high delivery bonus. But, there it is. Literally took me about 10 minutes to sell, and I made 2.2 million. So it's a good way to make money, especially if you just kind of like chill grinding. It's very easy. Now, realistically, if you get good at this, you can probably fill up a large warehouse in say 5 to 6 hours with decent luck. Obviously, if you get more single crate missions, it'll take you longer to fill it up, but still shouldn't take more than about 7 8 hours. So even if you play like only on the weekends, put in a good session, and you can fill this up at least once per week. And if you got like 5 warehouses, that's 11 million. So very good business, very easy. Just a little bit annoying and not the most effective, but it's very easy and very calm to do. So anyways guys, that's going to do it for today's video on the special critical money guide. If you guys find it enjoyable, helpful, please leave a like. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike. Now I'm going to do a money guide like this on all the businesses in the game. So if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.